All right, let me ask you a question. All right. What is mental toughness for you? Okay. When you say mental toughness, what comes to your mind? If you ask most people, they will say, something like a guy, somebody who overcame cancer or they beat it. You get so many of these posts on LinkedIn. Oh, I overcame cancer and this and that. Okay, fine. I'm not saying it's not, but yeah, that is form of mental toughness. If you ask people who are on social media, what is mental toughness, they will say something like, David Goggins, he's running and talking. Oh, you need to get off your lazy ass and you need to run. I'm running 100 miles and blah, blah, blah. He'll go on. Yeah, that is also a form of mental toughness. Or then you get these gym motivational videos like, oh, push it, come on, you no gain, no pain, and you're screaming and you're lifting the weight and okay. The problem is we have these representations of mental toughness as a boxer, as an MMA fighter, as someone, with one leg and they win some gold medal, or, there's a one where a military guy with no legs, he took part in one of the toughest races, climbing up the hill and swimming and this and that, while lifting a heavy bag. And the, these images and videos that you see of mental toughness, it's not that they are not, they are. And they do inspire. Like in my case, Nick Wojcik, the man with no hands, no legs, he's a Christian preacher. His videos saved me from the depression when this female, Anita, left me. It took me 3 months, and every day I would see his videos and cry and cry. And it was a tough pill to swallow because I used to think, men who cry for a girl are pussies, like, cowards. But then I was a playboy. But, the connection that I had with this girl was so intense. I never thought. And anyway, see, I don't blame her. She was only 18 at the time. She was immature. And I, being 31, I was stupid. I just, I guess it was that caring, that protective, this thing that I had to take care of her. All that got to me and I let my defenses down. And okay, agreed. Sex and everything else. I guess it was like they say, the perfect storm. She was my Achilles heel. All right. So anyway, it took me months and months to, and finally, after 6 years only, I was able to overcome that. But the initial, I would say, first 6 months, oof, locking myself in the house and wanted to harm myself and this and that. Okay. So it's not that these motivational videos don't help you. However, let me tell you that not everything is like Hollywood, happily ever after. Like when you, the best story or movie that I can say for mental toughness is The Pursuit of Happiness. Will Smith, even though I don't like the guy, but the character, the actor is great. Pursuit of Happiness, I've seen so many times and I've cried watching that movie. I'm sure you also must have cried. And especially the scene where he's with his son. Son is trying to shoot basketball hoops and his father tells him, hey, listen, why are you doing that? And his son says, I want to be, basketball champion. Saying, hey, listen, this is all nonsense, nothing is going to happen. So just don't take it seriously. Then that small boy, his son, Jaden Smith, he stops putting the hoops and he just throws the ball away. And then he just walks and his father, takes the ball and he realizes what he has done. And then he turns to him and tells him, don't let anyone tell you what you can and cannot do. There are many people who have not achieved who will tell you, what you can or cannot do. Just, very powerful words like, don't let anyone tell you, about your dreams. You need to watch that. I have watched it so many times. So very powerful, this thing. And especially when he holds his son in the toilet and is crying. And finally, when he gets a job, And this is happiness. Sadly, the reality is, for normal people like you and me, it's we are not going to have this happily ever after or this great moment. I'm not saying nobody. There will be people who will have a resurgence or resurrection of their careers. But the majority of us, and I say us as we people, will always have a struggle. We'll always have another day, another challenge, another obstacle to overcome. Before you even say, "Oh, Loy, are you going through some obstacle?" Let me ask you, don't you have problems? Don't you have bills to pay? Don't you have stress at work? Don't you have challenges to overcome? You do, right? We all do. And it's not that I specifically have a problem now. I had a client who spoke to me, and I obviously can't share what their problem is. But it was, I mean, when I listened to what all this they had to overcome, a couple, it was too much. I was like, oh, bloody hell, man. You know, mother, father, then in laws, then sickness, then COVID, then being cheated by a partner, and children's education. And, you know, when a child, mommy, I want this, and you always have been able to provide, and now you can't. Heartbreaking, right? And given the fact that I myself have a wife and kid, I know what it does, you know. See, all I want to say through this video is life is bloody tough, man. Life is tough. Okay. You solve one problem, another problem will come. You solve one issue, another issue will come. You deal with one asshole, another asshole comes. Sometimes you deal with one asshole, a bigger asshole comes. And then sometimes you just lie down and think, okay, problem sorted out. And then you get another new headache. I mean, the problems never, ever, ever end, you know. And sometimes, you know, you ask yourself, man, when will I ever have a break? Sometimes, sometimes, you know, I see these guys winning a lottery and 1 billion and 1 million, or a girl marries this very rich guy and then she's just bragging and showing off, staying in big hotels. And I sometimes think like, shit, man, why didn't this happily ever after happen to me? This big movie or this big lottery or this big multi-million-dollar something. I have suddenly created this business and now I'm earning millions and the American dream, you know, kind of thing. Sadly, you know, the problem is all this sounds good in Hollywood or in movies or in stories or inspirational posts. However, for normal people like you and me, there is this no guarantee a happy ending. That's why when that's why when I see anyone say, "Oh, David Goggins is tough," and "Oh, look at him, he achieved multi-millions today," and or you get this scammy coaches, "I was sleeping on the streets and today 7-figure in," shut up. The thing is, it's like you know, when someone asks me, "Loy, how's you, man? Long time. How's life treating you?" I tell them, same shit, different day. Same shit, different day. That's all it is. The struggles never end. The stress never goes. The assholes never stop. Expenses, the expense meter keeps going. Struggles are always there. So, you know, if I could leave you with a message, I just want to tell you that if you're going through any struggle now, whatever it is, if you're going through a struggle, just remember you're not alone. Okay? Just remember that it's tough, you know, life is tough. And you need to take, like they say, the bull by its horns, no? Don't give up. Problems will not get over. They will not be an immediate solution, but take one step at a time. Just remind yourself not to give up. Do what it needs. If you need to take a nap, you need to just sit quietly, you need to sleep, you need to eat, you need some time alone, go for a walk, do some push ups, whatever it is. I'm not saying your problems are nothing, I'm not saying your problems are small. Whatever your problem is, just take one step at a time, one day at a time. Don't think too much about what's going to happen. When it happens, you deal with it. Because keep something in mind that there are a lot of people out there going through a lot more worse. From losing a hand, losing a leg, having their partners cheat them of their life savings, to betrayal, to cancer. I mean, I know so many of these stories, like, oh, fucking hell, man. I know this, like one which stands out in my mind right now. This woman, she married this guy when he was nothing and nobody, and helped him, loved him, and helped him build his career. And then finally, she trusted him so much that made him the partner, everything else. And finally, when she had a disease, she developed, I think, cancer or something. The husband took everything, got another female, divorced her, and dumped her. That also with her kids. And her kids both have special needs. And he didn't give a fuck. Obviously, she fought, and that's why he hated her even more, and he just abandoned her. And now the same female who had everything, now she's struggling because she has to pay his loans, and her whole life is a mess. Imagine she sharing with me that she doesn't want to continue life, but she has to for these two kids. What do you do when you hear all this, man? It's messed up, Anyway, I don't know. Today I've been hearing past few days so many of these tough stories. I really thought need to share. So whatever it is you're going through, just clench your fist, just be strong. Get pissed off, get angry, but don't be a coward to run away. Face it. Like a dog is chasing you, stand there and face it. Stand there and face it. I'm not saying go and fight and kill and this and first have the courage to stand, face it, and maybe in the next video or something I'll share with you a few more strategies how. I'm not saying this is a foolproof thing, but at least it'll kind of snap you out of that self-pity, that no hope mode. All right, let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and yes, if you want that video, I'll be more than happy to share. You guys take care. It's me signing off. Chal man.